So this is our home page, and you can sign in and sign up for an account by going to the top right hand side. You can sign in with social media or an email, either works. And let's say that we want to get all of this data from the Airbnb website. Let's pretend that we want to analyze it, and let's see if we can work out what the average price of every Airbnb room is. But we can't do it when it's stuck in the website. So what we need to do is we need to convert it to a table of data. To do this, simply copy the URL, head over to import.io, and insert this URL into the box in the middle of the screen, and click Try It Out. Our algorithms will go and analyze the web page, and it will structure all of this data for you in a nice, easy-to-use table. On top of this, we also recognize the pagination, so we can go to the page 2 and page 3 and so on and so forth. And we can also build what's called an API to the page. What this means is that you can get the most up-to-date data on the page simply by clicking on a button. So when you click on Get API, it takes you to your My Data page. Now, obviously, if you have a quick internet connection, this will be a lot quicker than my one at the minute. And the My Data page is a collection of all of the APIs that you've made before. And if we just give it a few seconds, we should see our Airbnb API come up here. Simply by clicking on the Query button, you can get the most up-to-date data on that page at that time. Sometimes you need to train it though. To do this, we've built a desktop application, and this allows you to use our point-and-click interface to pick out the various bits of data on the web page that you need. So let's pretend that we don't want all of that data from the Airbnb website. There's quite a lot of it here and it's a bit overkill. If we just go back to our desktop application, we can insert the URL into the URL bar. Incidentally, I got here by clicking on the new drop-down menu and clicking on Extractor. Enter the URL and turn extraction on, and the page will reload. Now, it's simply just a case now of clicking whereabouts on the page the data is. So for instance, let's get the price. We can name our column price, and then click on the price. Tell it there'll be many rows, and after a few seconds, you can see all of the data is lifted from the web page into our data set. We can also get the reviews as well. And again, just by simply clicking on New Column and giving the column a name, we can then select various parts on the web page, and we can change it from a link to text or back to a link. And we also have the ability to extract pictures as well. So that's our point-and-click UI. When you're finished, simply click on Done and give it a name. And click on Publish. This is going to publish the API for you. So again, this will allow you to get up-to-date data, so that when it changes on the Airbnb website, it will in turn change in your data set. And all you have to do is hit the Query button. We also have the ability to run multiple URLs through this. So if we wanted to go to many, many pages, we can use multiple URLs. And we also have what's called a crawler. You all know what a crawler is. It can crawl websites in one session incredibly quickly. This is very useful if you don't know your URL structure. We also have the ability to get data from behind a login. On top of this, we also have our data journalism as a service. What this does is that you give us the URL that you need data from, and we will go and make that API for you, giving you ultimate control over what data you get without actually having to learn how to use the tool at all. Some examples of how people have used us: the San Francisco Chronicle used data harvest by import to write a really cool article about Airbnb and the impact Airbnb are having in San Francisco. We put crawlers to Airbnb, HomeAway and Flipkey, and we got data from each of these websites that culminated in some really, really cool analysis.